भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। On the first page here you have salutation to Gurus. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyah Vamsharshibhyah Mahadbyah Namo Gurubhyah. This is how Bhashyakara commenced his Bhashya with salutations to the Gurus. Namo Brahmadibhyah. Salutations to all the Gurus beginning from Brahma. Because the tradition of the Guru Shishya Parampara, as described in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad in 3 places, there are 6 chapters of the Upanishad divided into 3 kandas or cantos of 2 chapters each. At the end of each kanda, after 2 chapters, they describe the whole Guru Parampara, and not too different but somewhat different. In one case, Guru Parampara is described where the name of the Acharya is based on the father. In another canto, the name Acharya is based on the mother. And that is how the first Guru anyway in each case is Brahmaji. So Brahmadibhyah beginning from Brahma. Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyah. Those are the propagators of the Sampradaya, the teaching of Brahma Vidya. Vamsharshibhyah. So this is the Nada Parampara. There is a Bindu Parampara from father to son, and Nada Parampara from the teacher to the disciple. It's like a Vamsha, like a bamboo which has those knots. And similarly also, the Parampara tradition can be compared to like a bamboo with one knot to the other. Vamsharshibhyah, Mahadbyah to the great ones, Gurubhyah Namaha to those great sages and the Gurus, our salutations. Open the page number 7. You still hear the sound, You got page number 7? Okay. Let me read that passage. Maitreyi iti hovacha Yajnavalkyaha Udyasyanva Are ahamasmi Asmat sthanadasmi Hantate Anaya Katyayanya Antam karvani te. Maitreyi iti hovacha Yajnavalkyaha. So an anecdote. So in many Upanishads the teaching is imparted in the framework of an anecdote, a little story. Here also the teaching is imparted in the setting of an anecdote or like a story, which is in the form of the dialogue between sage Yajnavalkya and his wife Maitreyi. The reason why it is described in this way is that it not only tells us a story, also tells us gives us some of the lessons which we can learn from the story. First of all, it tells us that something like some anecdote like this happened, which means that this is something that can happen, that had happened. There is something that is realistic and not something imaginary, number one. And also, in anecdote, we can see the situation that existed in the mind of the teacher, the situation that exists in the mind of the disciple, what kind of framework is required for being a teacher, what kind of framework is required for being a disciple, what qualifications are required for being an aspirant. Yajnavalkya Vacha, Yajnavalkya said, Maitreyi, hey Maitreyi, Maitreyi, my dear. The translation is, Udyaschandva are aham asmat sthanad asmi. Aham asmat sthanad udyaschandve asmi. I am going to renounce this life. So below this passage also, for those who can read the Devanagari, the explanation also is given. Not that I am going to do all the explanation every time, but just in case. Maitreyim Swabharyam Amantritavan Yajnavalkyo Nam Rushihi. A sage called Yajnavalkya once addressed his wife, Hey Maitreyi, Udyasyan, Urdvam, Yasyan, Udyasyan, Yasyan, Ya means to go. So Udyasyan Vai Asmat Sthanadahamasmi. Hey Maitreyi, I intend to go beyond this stage in which we are. That right now I am in the stage of the householder and I wish to go to a stage beyond the stage of householder, which means to the stage of a renunciate. Hanta, that is the particle indeclinable, which is meant to say that I am seeking your permission. So it is prescribed that the husband should seek permission of the wife while taking a decision like this. So here Maitreyi, I am seeking your permission that I wish to now go up to the next stage of life, which is the life of renunciate, which requires that he will be like a wandering monk, which means that he won't be staying in the house anymore, which means that he will be leaving the house. Hey Maitreyi, I wish to leave this house to enter the life of a renunciate. And I am seeking your permission. And before leaving the house, I have made adequate provision for you as well as Katyayani, who is the other wife of Yajnavalkya. Hantate anaya Katyayanya antam karmani. The way it is described is, I will bring an end to between you and Katyayani. You, the Maitreyi, and Katyayani, between two of you, I will bring an end, meaning that I will cut off the relationship that you have between the two of you. The relationship, this co-wife is due to the husband. Now I am no more going to be husband. That means you will be no more co-wife, means the relationship that you have presently will be no more there. Right now, I am the one who is taking care of you. But once I leave, then there is nobody to take care of you. And therefore, I have made provision for both of you that you can live comfortably even in my absence. Dravivagam krutya vittena samvivajya yuvam gamishyami. That I will equally divide my wealth between the two of you, and then I will leave this place. Continuing to the next page. Apparently, the second wife, Katyayani, is not present here when this dialogue takes place. So we do not hear any participation on the part of Katyayani, here at least. Same story is repeated later when Katyayani is described to be content with what is said. So going to the next page. Sahovacha Maitreyi Yannuma iyam bhagaha Sarva prithvi vittena purna syat Katham tena amrutasyamiti Naiti hovacha Yajnavalkya Yathaiva Upakarnavatam jivitam Tathaiva te jivitam syad Amrutatvasya tu nashasti Vittena iti Sa hovacha Maitreyi. Sa Maitreyi hovacha. Sa Maitreyi suggests that. Which Maitreyi? Maitreyi, who was told by Yajnavalkya that now I am leaving the home and leaving the adequate property for you and Katyayani. So Maitreyi was told like this, say to Yajnavalkya, Yannumayam bhago sarva prithvi vittena purna syat. Sir, if indeed this whole earth full of wealth be mine, yam sarva prithvi vittena purna syat. Sarva prithvi, the entire earth, vittena purna syat, was filled with wealth. Not only the amount of wealth that you are leaving for us, but even the entire earth full of wealth was given to me. Katham tena amrutasyamiti. Do you think that I will become immortal by that? So katham. Do you think that I will become immortal by that? Or how can I become immortal by that? The katham has both the senses. How do you think I will become immortal by the wealth which is equal to the whole earth filled with all the riches? If that wealth was mine, do you think that I will become immortal? Means, I don't think I will be immortal, but do you think I will become immortal? Naiti hovachi Yajnavalkya. Yajnavalkya has no idea that won't be the case. You cannot become immortal. Yasaiva upakarnavatam jivitam tathaiva te jivitam syat. Upakarnavatam. Those were many upakarnas, many gadgets, or many means, of livelihood. Meaning those who are well provided with the means of living, that they have no lack or want in their life. There was no trouble or labor in their life because every upakarana is available. You want to wash dishes, some upakarana is available, some appliance, clean the floor, some appliance is available, whatever appliances were available at that time. The idea is that there also the wealthy people would have a lot of this kind of gadgets, if you want to call them, to help them ease their labor so that they can live comfortably. So whatever be the case at that time where people try to make their life as comfortable as they could. I'm sure that life was nothing compared to life that we have today. And kind of gadgets, etc., that we have created is just mind-boggling. And therefore our life is extremely comfortable. And even the Western countries have more comfortable life than we have. Because you just hardly have to do much physical activity. So, hey Maitreyi, so what would be the standard those days of the wealthy people who provided themselves with all possible help and with all possible gadgets to make their life as comfortable as possible, to reduce or minimize their labor? Hey Maitreyi, you can certainly live life like that comfortably with various upakarnas or gadgets or appliances that you can do with wealth, can help you do that, can help you live a comfortable life. Last sentence is amrutatvas vinashasti vittena iti. Vittena, with wealth, amrutasya asha nasti. However, with wealth, there is no asha, no expectation of attaining immortality through wealth or with any kind of appliances that you can attain by wealth. Or technically speaking, Bhashyakara says wealth here means that you can perform variety of karma. So, in order to perform even Vedic rituals also, you require many resources, which means that you do require money for that. And so, this Upanishad described earlier also what they call panktam karma consisting of 5 factors. Jaya me syat asa prajaya, vittam me syat asa karma kuriya. This man says, may I get married, jaya me syat asa prajaya, so I can have progeny. Vittam me syat asa karma kuriya, may I have vitta or wealth so that I can perform the rituals. And so you require, they call 5 factors. First is the host or the performer of karma, man, Jaya the wife, progeny the son, wealth. And wealth is said to be of 2 kinds. One is what they call the earthly wealth, other is the divine wealth. Earthly wealth is in terms of the money, the currency or whatever it is, or cows those days, or the cattle, which was the currency or wealth those days. And the other kind of wealth is called Devi Sampat, the wealth of performing meditation. So the wealth in the form of cattle is the material wealth and wealth of the nature of meditation on the devatas is called divine wealth. So wealth also is of two kinds, the material wealth and the divine wealth. So 5 factors: the husband, the wife, the son, and divine wealth, material wealth and divine wealth. So 5. The karma or the ritual that is performed with the help of these 5 factors, panktam karma. Panktam is the group of 5. So panktam karma, a Vedic karma, requires these 5 factors. And by performing these karma or the rituals, you can attain various things in this world and the other world. The Vedic rituals, Vedas prescribe a number of rituals depending upon your desire. Because people are many and desires are many, and therefore the rituals also are many. And therefore the Karma Kanda section of the Veda is a voluminous section describing a number of rituals. That's all karma. And that is very necessary because these karma, the rituals, are meant to fulfill the variety of desires of human beings. Human beings are of all varieties, and therefore the desires are also of all varieties. And therefore the rituals of karma that are required to fulfill those desires also are of all varieties. So, hey Maitreyi, if you get wealth, then you can perform these Vedic rituals and fulfill your desires. And thus you can live comfortably here. You can even fulfill your desires to go to heaven. Live comfortably there also. But unfortunately, even that cannot make you immortal, because even though they say that life in heaven is very long, compared to life of a human being in this mortal world, the lifespan in heaven is very much longer. So therefore, in a secondary sense, they are called Amara, or they are immortal. Devatas are called Amaras or immortal. But nobody can become immortal, meaning that even though Devatas or gods are called immortal, it's only with reference to the lifespan of human beings, which is a very short lifespan. The lifespan of Devatas is very long in comparison to that of the human beings. Therefore, they are called immortals. But not immortals in primary sense, in secondary sense. Also to tempt the human being that, hey, you become immortal when you go to heaven, etc. But hey Maitreyi, meaning that by wealth, you can perform rituals by which you can get a place in heaven, because of which you can have a very long lifespan, but then also you cannot become immortal. As the Bhagavad Gita says, Kshine Punye Mrityalokam Vishanti. There also, when your punya or your virtue is spent, is exhausted, you come back to earth. Like going to a resort, staying in a 5-star hotel. How long can you stay there? As long as you can pay the bills. Stop paying bills. The same fellow also, when you go to this hotel, someone comes along and receives you, opens the door of a car, takes your baggage and escorts you. Stop paying bill. Same fellow will unceremoniously take out the bag, Similarly also in heaven, once your punya is exhausted, unceremoniously you are thrown down. That's how the description is. So, hey Maitreyi, I am sorry to say that yes, with wealth you can perform various rituals. You can live a very comfortable life in this world. You can live much comfortable life, much more in the heaven. And you can live a long life in heaven. But everything that begins has an end. And therefore, yet kritakam, whatever is created or produced or effect of karma, that is going to be masim, that is going to be mortal. So with wealth, wealth stands for all material things. You cannot expect to be immortal. Amrtatvasya nashasti vittenetyavi. This word, this statement comes in the Viveka also. Amrtatvasya nashasti vittenetyavi shrutihi. Shruti says that immortality cannot be gained by wealth. Then what do you think will give us immortality? See, everybody, human being wants immortality. When Maitreyi expresses the desire for immortality, it is not only a particular desire of Maitreyi. Maitreyi here represents the desire that every human being has. We may not have given a thought to our desires, and therefore we may not recognize that we are also seeking immortality. It's likely, we may not have. But if we give a thought to our desires, then you will find that desire behind all the desires is immortality, meaning that I do not want to die. Is it not so? Nobody wants death. These three things we do not want in our life. One is nobody wants death, and nobody should want death. Secondly, nobody wants pain and sorrow, dukkham. And thirdly, nobody wants pain, sorrow, or death, and ignorance. Nobody wants stupidity or foolishness in their life. Nobody wants to be branded a stupid person. Everybody wants to be branded a wise person. So nobody loves stupidity, meaning nobody loves ignorance. Nobody loves sorrow or pain, and nobody loves death. Isn't that so? There cannot be an exception to this. So when Maitreyi says, I want immortality, that also includes the other two. Each one of us wants immortality, meaning that we do not want death. We always try to avoid death or push death away as much as we can. We do not want ignorance. That is why, all this medical industry, the healthcare industry, prospers because of our desire to avoid death and pain. All this publication industry prospers because we want knowledge. We don't want to become free from ignorance. And thirdly, all the entertainment industry, because we want pleasure. So we are supporting all the industries. Our desire for pleasure, our desire for information, our desire for longevity. So when Maitreyi says, I want to be immortal, that means that I want to be immortal, I want all the happiness in the world, I want all the knowledge in the world, I want all the longevity in the world. That is what every human being wants. Most of us would not have given a thought to what we want. When Maitreyi says, will I become immortal? That means that she has given thought to what it is that she wants. Why is it so? Because she has been living in Yajnavalkya. Maitreyi has been living long life with none less than Yajnavalkya, an enlightened sage, and so she is going to have this samskaras. So she asked made a very pointed statement. That by the wealth, not only by the wealth that you are leaving to us, the wealth equal to the earth filled with all the riches. If that becomes mine, will I become immortal? Will I have all the happiness? Will I be free from sorrow? Will I be free from death? Will I be free from ignorance? This is what we should understand Maitreyi's question to be. Although when we say we want immortal, what means we want freedom from death? When I want knowledge, I want freedom from ignorance. I want happiness, I want freedom from sadness or sorrow. Human being is constantly seeking freedom. Freedom from sorrow, freedom from death, freedom from ignorance. Each one of us is seeking that. Although most people don't think about it, here Maitreyi represents, or Maitreyi gives voice, words to the unexpressed desire of all the human beings. So, sir, not only the wealth that you are leaving to us, but by the wealth which is equivalent to this earth filled of all the riches, will I become free from death? Will I become free from ignorance? Will I become free from sorrow? That's what the question means, Sahovachi Yajnavalkya Na iti hovachi Yajnavalkya. Yajnavalkya said, no, I am sorry, my dear, you cannot become free from death, free from ignorance, free from sorrow by wealth. This is being told in technical language of karma and jnana, etc. But yasaiva upakarmatam jivitam tasaiva te jivitam syat. You can live a long life comfortably, but not immortal. You can have reasonable freedom from sorrow, but not absolutely. You can have reasonable freedom from ignorance, but not totally. Meaning that, hey Maitreyi, the basic desire that a human being has, and this is a desire that every human being has, what we call the desire behind the desires, is the desire to be free. Free from ignorance, free from sorrow, free from death, mortality, death. So we are, every human being, knowingly or unknowingly, is striving to fulfill that desire, achieve this goal. It is true, likely that most of us haven't even thought about this. We may need somebody to point attention to this, in fact, as Yajnavalkya did to Maitreyi. Maitreyi already knew that. And otherwise we keep on living our lives searching, chasing one end to the other and to the third and to the fourth. We are not clear what it is that you are seeking in life. You chase one end after the other. And eludes us. Looks like this is what I want. I have attained that. I have not quite something else. I attained that, not quite. Like traveling in the Himalayas, you thought that you came to the end. Oh, the Kedarnath is there, right? That peak. Not quite. There is another one behind that. That seems to be the one now. Another one behind that. Similarly also, every peak seems to point to another peak. So every achievement in life seems to point to other achievement. And this is the fundamental situation of every human being, and Upanishad provides a solution to this fundamental situation or fundamental need of the human being. Therefore, further, page number 9. It's right there. Sahovacha Maitreyi Yenaham namrutasyam kimaham tena kuryam yadeva bhagavan veda tadeva me bruhiti. Sa Maitreyi who was, every time Maitreyi changes, understand? It's not the same Maitreyi who first asked, said that will I become immortal? Now it's a different Maitreyi who is told that no, you cannot become immortal by wealth. So Maitreyi who knows this now asks further. Sa Maitreyi who was that Maitreyi who was told thus by, says Yajnavalkya, said, Yenaham namrutasyam kimham tena kuryam Yenaham amrutanasyam, that by which I cannot become immortal. Kim tenaham kuryam, what use do I have of that by which I cannot become immortal? That's a big thing. To say that, what use do I have of that which cannot make him immortal? What use do I have? I'm giving you the whole mountain. Can it make me immortal? No. Giving you whole heaven. Can you make immortal? No. I'll give Vaikuntha. Can you? No. What use do I have of that? See, this is a total vairagya, understand? Tad vairagyam jihasaya darshana shravanadivihi dehadi brahma paryantam. Says Viveka Chudamani, that is called vairagya, where one doesn't want everything that is any kind of achievement or happiness which one can gain dehadi from the human birth body, brahmadi, or all the happiness that Brahma is getting, that is highest. Darshana Shravanadi, by thinking and by hearing, by knowing, one knows that nothing can make me adequate. The human being suffering from a sense of inadequacy, an inner lack or inner want. Although we complain that this is not right, this is not good, that is not good, we usually complain about things around us. People are no good. Hey, why have you done? This is not good. Sambar is not good today. Chutney is no good today. Charani is not proper today. I keep on complaining about many things. But that complaint basically comes from the complaint that I have about myself. What is my complaint about myself? I find myself inadequate, insufficient, meaning that, basically speaking, I am not satisfied by myself. And that applies to everybody. Not only a poor person who has very little is not satisfied with himself, but the wealthiest person in the world also, whoever that may be, it keeps changing every day, but that person also is not satisfied with himself. Otherwise, this kind of competition is all right. But each one seems to keep on criticizing the other, This fellow criticizes that fellow, that one finds fault with the other one, etc. It's going on at every level, is it not so? Elon Musk has something to say about the Facebook, and he has to say about Microsoft, whatever. So at every level there are complaints and dissatisfaction. Meaning that without exception, every human being is suffering from a sense of self-insufficiency, self-inadequacy. Each one finds himself to be insufficient, inadequate. So what is adequate? What is sufficient? What do you call adequate? You have $1 billion. What do you mean? What is adequate? What is meant by adequate is that each one of us is seeking to be perfection from ourselves. Understand? No less than that. We are seeking to be perfect. In every way, I cannot accept any kind of lack or insufficiency about myself. I want to be complete in every way. Not practical, not going to happen. But still, that is what I want, and that's what I'm striving. Human being is striving, struggling constantly. Because some kind of imaginary perfection he wants. See, when we were in school, we were asking, we were sometimes asked to write a small essay. What is your ideal? What is your ideal home? What is your ideal this? And similarly, if you ask, what is your ideal? What do you want? Draw a picture. Nobody can describe what that ideal is, You know the story of the 10th man? Everybody knows, I hope, Is there somebody who doesn't know the story of 10th man? Okay, thank God. If somebody said, I don't know, then all of you would have to listen, but now nobody has said it, People, once I say this, they shudder as though now Swami will start that story again, But nobody out of his audience said, I haven't heard. So, okay, I'm deprived of the pleasure of telling you that story. But they are searching for the 10th man. Ask him, how does the 10th man look like? Ask him. You think they'll be able to describe? They're searching for 10th man, all right, but then, can you describe how the 10th man looks like? So we are searching a perfect self. Can you describe? We cannot even describe what it is that we are seeking in life, really. Some kind of vague thing that we are pursuing. But in reality, we are seeking a perfect self. Perfect means what? Not limited in any way, not limited in time, place, object, attribute. And there is no such entity in the whole universe that can fulfill this description. Meaning that if we travel around the world, which we are doing, after death we will go to some other world and then come back and perform other karma, go to that world, because we are passing through 8.4 million different species just to check up whether what I want is there someplace or not. Ishvara has created this 8.4, at least 8.4, there may be more also. Right now 8.4 million bugs may be there, but so that many kind of yonis are there, species are there. I travel everywhere to see, I can find what I am seeking and come back. Thank God that Vedanta comes to our help. And he says, don't worry, the perfect one that you are seeking is yourself. That you are that perfect one. What? I am perfect? This is perfect? Not perfect. My mind, not perfect. My ego, not perfect. Nobody says you are the body, you are mind, you are ego. You are perfect. So that is how they enlighten us about what you or I am. But until then the search goes on and on. like that of a 10th man. Therefore, the only way that I can become immortal, I can become free from mortality, free from ignorance, free from sorrow. Put it this way, or I can become happy, I can become immortal, I can become all knowledge. By knowledge, by knowing that I already am, and by not becoming or not acquiring, but by knowing. That is the basic message that Vedanta gives us. Here is one place we have not looked. Look everywhere for immortality. Look everywhere for all happiness and all knowledge, and you don't find it anywhere. One place we have not looked, and that is what? Yourself. So here, Maitreyi says, Sahovacha Maitreyi. We would imagine that all of this kind of thinking has gone on in Maitreyi that we discuss. Yenaham namritasyam kimam tena kuryamiti. What use do I have of that which cannot make me immortal? That means keep your wealth with yourself. You remember somebody else said it to somebody else? Who? Nachiketa. Tavayavaha tavanvrityagite. Right? Tavayavaha tavanvrityagite. Shobhavaha martyasya edantagaitat. Sarvendriyanam jarandi tejah. Api sarvam jivitam alpameva. Tavayavaha tavanvrityagite. Nachiketa says to Lord Yama, who tried to distract him, from his desire, from his conviction. Young Nachiketa asked for self-knowledge because I know that only gaining knowledge of self that I can become immortal, that I can become free from death. And destiny has brought me to you, and therefore you please teach me. You are Lord of death, so you know what life is, what is beyond life, what is death. Please teach me. And Lord Yama gave him all kinds of temptations. Hey Nachiketa, don't insist upon fulfilling this desire. You're too small, too young. Do you know that even devatas also have been wondering? Even devatas also not sure of what that knowledge is. Devatas also not sure the nature of the self because it's very subtle. Not for you. Devayapi vichikitsatam pura. I mean, devatas also have doubts about this. So what about you, a small young man? Give up that and accept what all I am offering you. Nachiketa says, if devatas also have doubts, then I certainly wanted, The very thing that Yamaraja wanted Nachiketa to be discouraged, that very thing encouraged him. If devatas also have doubts, then I certainly wanted. And as I said, Yamaraja tried to distract him by offering all kinds of temptations to him. He could not be swerved. That's an amazing thing, that where did he get that maturity that he did not know? He knew somehow that his wealth and all these, even the vehicles and all these, nothing, he was not interested in anything. He had that maturity by which simply said, no, keep all these things with you. In a way, Maitreyi is saying this to Yajnavalkya. The wealth that you are offering me, if it cannot make him immortal, what use do I have of that? Which means keep that with you. She doesn't say that. Nasigeta, of course, could say to the Yamaraja, keep that with you. Maitreyi is too humble, and she is after all, she is wife. She has to talk with husband in a certain way, so she can't say, keep it. But it amounts to saying that I have no use of that. Yenaham amudanasyam kimam tena kuryamiti. What use do I have of that which cannot make me immortal, by which I cannot become immortal? As I said, by immortal we should understand freedom from death, freedom from ignorance, freedom from sorrow. So freedom from death is called immortality, existence, sat. Freedom from ignorance is called chit or jnanam. Freedom from sorrow is called ananda. So either you are seeking freedom from death, ignorance, mortality, or sorrow, or you are seeking sat chit ananda. Yadeva Bhagavan Veda Tadeva me Bruhiti. Bhagavan, your venerable sir, the fact that you are leaving home, keeping this wealth here, if wealth was useful, you would have carried it with you, is it not so? The fact that you are leaving wealth here, which means that it is not useful, you don't need it. Which means that you seem to be very comfortable without this wealth. When would that be? When would it be that sage Yajnavalkya would be comfortable even without this wealth and all the other accessories? When would it be? He does not need wealth or anything else to be comfortable. When would that be? When?
When he finds something better than that.
Better than that. Where? Will he find or has he found? Will he find something better than that? Is he leaving home in search of something? Or he is leaving home having already attained that? So Maitreyi says, Yadeva Bhagavan Veda Tadeva me Bruhiti. Whatever it is that our venerable sir knows, please tell me that. What does Yajnavalkya know? Or what does Yajnavalkya have? If all the wealth and everything is now abandoned, what does he have? Does he have anything? The home also is leaving, wealth also is leaving, everything is leaving. Does he have anything with him? He is himself. He has himself. You can say he says Kamandalu and stuff like that. What does he have? Swami has Kamandalu. Yeah. He has some Rudraksh Mala. No, he has himself. That's what Maitreyi says, whatever it is that you know. See how Yadeva Bhagavan Veda, see how her request got transformed into the knowledge. Yadeva Bhagavan Veda. There's something that this revered Venerable Sir knows. Because you don't have anything with you now that you're leaving this home, and still you seem to be going comfortable. Therefore, whatever the Venerable Sir knows, Tadeva me, that alone you please give me. I don't want this commando, I don't want this house and fan and refrigerators and air conditioners and stuff like that. Can we say that? So this shows utter vairagya on the part of, this is called vairagya. Viragasya bhava vairagyam. Viraga state, vigataha raga yasmatsa viraga. That from which raga has gone away is called viraga. And raga goes away when dvesha also has gone away. So vairagya is a state of mind which is free from raga, and the mind can be free from raga only when it is also free from dvesha. They don't mention this dvesha. Even when Vedanta talks about vairagya, they only talk of freedom from raga. But raga and dvesha are the two sides of the same coin. You cannot be free from raga unless you are also free from dvesha. Sometimes it is not well understood by the Vedantins also. I don't know, I'm not interested, but that this interest is not vairagya. Swami, I'm listening to Vedanta, I lost interest in everything. People say, I lost interest in everything. After listening to you, I say, wow, listening to you, I don't go to movies, I don't do this, I don't go to parties. Well, the rasa has gone away. Because Swami describes all this stuff in such a manner that whatever interest this fellow had has now gone. There are ways of describing things in certain ways that those which fascinated you at some point they are described in such a manner that I don't want anymore. They lost all interest is not vairagya. Dvesha also has to go, so attachment and aversion both have to go. Swami, what is left then? What sort of life can there be? No attachment, no aversion. People ask this question. What is the motivation to live life? Right now I am living life because there is attachment. And I realize that attachment will also bring about aversion, and that's how life is made. That is how life is. There's a pleasure and pain, attachment and aversion. That's all we know about life. What will be the state of mind when there is no attachment and aversion? What will it be? Dull, isn't it? Not interested, not interested, not interested, not interested. Oh, so then I will meditate. Can you meditate? With attachment everywhere I cannot meditate because that will keep on distracting my mind. With aversion everywhere also I cannot meditate because that also will distract my mind. So vairagya is what? Although we think that vairagya means freedom from raga, dvesha, attachment, looks like a very dull state of mind, is it not so? No emotions? No feelings? Is that vairagya is? So, what doesn't become clear to us very often is raga and dvesha is rajas and tamas. Becoming free from rajas and tamas must be accompanied by becoming endowed with sattva. Not that you are totally interestless, that is not what is meant by freedom from raga. From raga you can come down to, rajas to tamas sometimes. People think that so I'm not interested in anything now. That can be tamas. Vairagya is sattva, the sattvic state of mind. Understand this. It's not that I'm not interested in anything. It is that I find myself free from the need of everything. A human being is a needy being. The need arising from self-dissatisfaction. So when we say that prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan, a wise person is described as free from all kama or desires. You know what is left? Freedom from desires. Atmanyeva atmana tushta, because he is content, satisfied with himself, by himself. Meaning that vairagya means self-satisfaction, self-contentment, understand. He is not just not wanting something. It is being comfortable with myself, being satisfied with myself. That is why I become free from need of other things, because my need is satisfied from myself. Understand this? So that is what we expect. Maitreyi discovered when she says, please give me that, please give me that knowledge by which you have become immortal. So this is the background of the anecdote or the dialogue between Sri Yajnavalkya and Maitreyi. Will continue. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.